glowing Christmas lights cast a magical glow over the festive living room, hinting at innocent joy. Martha, Maurice, Louis, Jenny Jr., and Betty giggle with pure delight, surrounded by their new toys. The air hums with the soft melody of Christmas carols, a gentle backdrop to the children's playful sounds. The fireplace crackles merrily, its warmth filling the room and painting dancing shadows on the walls. George and Jenny Sodder watch their children, their faces alight with loving smiles and profound contentment. In this tender scene, the family's warmth creates a haven of peace, a perfect Christmas Eve moment. In the dimly lit kitchen, the only sounds are the refrigerator's soft hum and the clock's gentle tick, until the phone's jarring ring shatters the stillness. Jenny, startled, answers, her brow furrowing in confusion as she listens to the muffled woman's voice. Her expression shifts from confusion to unease as she says, "There's no one here by that name. You must have the wrong number." Slowly, Jenny hangs up, her gaze distant, lost in thought, a growing sense of foreboding settling over her. A silent, ominous tendril of smoke snakes through the hushed upstairs hallway of the Sodder home on Christmas Eve. Jenny, roused from sleep, stirs restlessly in the heavy quiet, a subtle unease prickling her senses. Her nostrils flare, catching the faint, acrid scent of smoke, a chilling whisper of danger in the air. Her eyes, wide with sudden dread, fix on a malevolent glow pulsating from the downstairs, a beacon of terror. The soft, festive calm shatters as a cold wave of panic washes over Jenny, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm. The glow intensifies, casting dancing shadows, transforming the familiar home into a scene of impending horror. In the Sodder home, on a late Christmas Eve, orange and red flames greedily lick at the walls near the electrical box. The fire casts dancing, monstrous shadows, turning familiar corners into terrifying, shifting shapes. George, eyes wide with terror, rushes to grab a bucket, his face etched with desperate determination. The hungry beast of fire spreads with alarming speed, consuming their home in a blaze of destruction. The bitter Christmas Eve air stings as George and Jenny stumble from their burning home, faces streaked with ash and tears. They desperately pull Sylvia, John, George Jr., and Marion, their terror-stricken faces illuminated by the inferno. Behind them, the Sodder home erupts in a raging inferno, flames devouring the structure and painting the night sky angry orange. The frantic parents search the chaos, their eyes wide with terror, desperately scanning for their missing children. Amidst the fiery devastation, the 5 younger children are nowhere in sight, swallowed by the terrifying night. On a snow-covered Christmas Eve, the Sodder home is engulfed in a roaring inferno, casting an ominous orange glow. George, his face streaked with soot and tears, stumbles toward the blazing house, a figure of desperate courage. He fights to breach the inferno, the intense heat pushing him back with scorching ferocity. The flames dance before him, an impenetrable wall of fire mocking his valiant efforts. Collapsing to his knees, his voice raw with anguish, George screams his children's names into the fiery night. His cries echo, a heartbreaking chorus of Martha, Maurice, Louis, Jenny Jr., Betty. Snow falls softly, blanketing the side of the Sodder home in a serene, deceptive peace. George, his face etched with worry, reaches for a familiar spot, his hand grasping at empty air. The ladder, a crucial tool, is gone. Its absence, a stark void in the snowy landscape. A wave of frustration and despair washes over George as the realization hits him with crushing force. He stands defeated, the falling snow mirroring the silent agony in his eyes. On a desolate Christmas Eve, George, his face a mask of desperation, fumbles with keys, racing towards his 2 trucks. He jams a key into the first truck's ignition, but the engine sputters and dies, a cruel mockery of hope. With a guttural cry of frustration, he yanks the key out and lunges for the second truck, repeating the futile act. Both engines remain stubbornly silent, leaving George trapped, his face contorted in helpless rage. On a frigid Christmas Eve, George battles the biting air, his breath misting as he frantically yanks at a water barrel. His movements are desperate, a silent plea against the rapidly spreading flames that devour his home. The barrel's lid resists, a cruel barrier to the life-saving water within. It's a solid block of ice, a mocking testament to the unforgiving winter night, his last hope frozen solid. Helplessness washes over George as his desperate struggle ends, leaving him to face the raging inferno alone. The first faint streaks of dawn paint the horizon, illuminating the grim scene as a fire truck finally pulls up to the Sodder home. What was once a house is now a smoldering ruin. Thick, acrid smoke billows into the frigid morning air. The smoke obscures the skeletal remains of the structure, a haunting testament to the night's devastation. George and Jenny stand side by side, their faces streaked with ash and tears, numb with shock and despair. In a temporary shelter, Jenny sits rigidly, her face etched with exhaustion and grief, her remaining children huddled close in fear. Mr. Henderson, a local official, stands before her, his rumpled suit and strained expression conveying a heavy burden. He clears his throat, his gaze avoiding hers. "I'm so sorry, Mrs. Davies. The 5 children are presumed dead," Jenny whispers, a fierce flicker of defiance in her vacant eyes, her voice barely audible. No bodies. Under a grim, gray sky, the charred remnants of the Sodder home smolder, a stark monument to devastation. Investigators in protective gear meticulously sift through the debris, their movements precise and detached. George, his face streaked with soot and eyes hollow with grief, watches from a distance, a silent sentinel. His gaze is sharp, scrutinizing every action, as if searching for a truth hidden beneath the ashes. An unsettling absence of human remains gnaws at his mind, leaving a bitter, haunting taste. Inside the gutted Sodder home, the air hangs heavy with the acrid stench of smoke and damp ash. Sunlight pierces through gaping holes in the roof, casting stark light on a scene of utter devastation. A stoic fire marshal, clipboard in hand, points to a charred section of wall where wiring once ran. George stands beside him, his face streaked with soot and exhaustion, but his eyes hold a glimmer of disbelief. Faulty Christmas lights. "Looks like a clear case of electrical malfunction, Mr. Sodder," the marshal states. George walks the perimeter of his property, the air thick with the acrid smell of ash and despair. His eyes, haunted and desperate, scan the charred remains, searching for any sign of hope amidst the devastation. Some distance from the house, lying in a ditch, he discovers his missing ladder, untouched by the flames. It is not burned, but simply moved, a chilling detail that sends a shiver down his spine. A cold dread settles over him, a terrifying realization that something is terribly, inexplicably wrong. Jenny hunches over a newspaper, her fingers tracing the bold headlines of a tragic fire investigation. Her hands tremble, the paper rustling as the official conclusion reveals the children perished. Her gaze drifts to a framed photograph, a cherished image of her 5 missing children, tears welling. A single defiant whisper escapes her lips. "They're wrong." Months later, George and Jenny stand amidst the barren ruins of their home, a stark testament to a haunting tragedy. In the quiet desolation, Jenny senses an undeniable presence of their missing children, her gaze distant yet resolute. She turns to George, her voice a whispered conviction. "They're here, George. I can feel them." George meets her gaze, his own resolve unwavering. "I know, Jenny, and we won't stop until we find out what really happened." In the Sodder kitchen, a year later, Jenny's eyes still hold an unshakable weariness. Her fingers, gentle yet precise, meticulously trace the edges of a phone line, an almost forensic examination. Beside her, a private investigator, his face tired but determined, gestures to the wire. The kitchen, once a haven of warmth, now feels like a cold, silent archive, echoing with unspoken grief. The private investigator confirms. It was cut, Mrs. Sodder, not melted by the fire. A year later, the sun casts long, eerie shadows across the overgrown Sodder property, a silent testament to time's passage. George walks with heavy steps to the exact spot where the ladder was found, the ground still holding secrets. He replays the horrifying night in his mind, the memory of the trucks failing, the water frozen solid. Each detail feels deliberately orchestrated, a chilling puzzle piece in a sinister design. In the soft glow of a single lamp, George paces, his face etched with a year of unspoken grief, running a hand through his hair. Jenny sits, her gaze lost in the unlit fireplace, a quiet tension thick with the weight of memory hanging in the air. George's voice is hushed, exploring a painful memory. Remember that loud thump on the roof just before the fire started? Jenny's eyes, filled with certainty, meet his. How could I forget? It sounded like something heavy. Someone was up there, George. I know it. George whispers, fear in his voice. And then the fire. Too fast. Too hot. What if? What if they threw something onto the roof? Something to start it? Calm. Jenny's voice is firm. A chilling realization. An incendiary device. Arson. It makes sense, doesn't it? It's the only thing that ever has. A year later, the once vibrant Sodder kitchen now feels heavy with the silent weight of unaddressed sorrow. Jenny sits at the table, her face a canvas of worry, deeply etched with the passage of a year marked by grief. Her voice, hushed and trembling, recounts an unsettling conversation with a local resident. She describes a shadowy figure, seen throwing an object onto their roof, a detail that chills her to the bone. Fragmented pieces of this dark puzzle begin to coalesce, forming a disturbing, ominous picture. The revelation hangs in the air, a chilling whisper of a truth too terrible to fully grasp. In the dimly lit living room, a year's dust settles on forgotten memories, casting long shadows of grief. George stands, his posture stiff with a newfound resolve, his eyes burning with unyielding intensity. Jenny sits, her face etched with quiet sorrow, yet her gaze meets George's with a shared, unspoken understanding. Their individual grief has hardened into a singular, unwavering purpose, a silent vow between them. George's voice cuts through the silence, a raw declaration. This wasn't an accident, Jenny. His words hang heavy in the air, a chilling accusation. Someone did this. In a sterile police station, George and Jenny, older but still determined, present their evidence to a stoic police chief. George insists. The phone line was cut, Chief. It wasn't an accident. Someone wanted to make sure no one could call for help, Jenny adds. And the ladder. It was moved. How could it have been moved if the fire started so quickly? The police chief, unmoved, states, "We've been over this, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson. Our investigation concluded it was a tragic accident." George pleads, "But the witnesses, Chief. They saw things. They heard things." Jenny's voice cracks with frustration. "So that's it? You're just going to let it go? After everything?" Years later, in the dim living room, George paces restlessly, his eyes burning with a fierce, unwavering conviction. Jenny watches him from a faded armchair, her expression grim, her gaze fixed on his every move. Her slow nod acknowledges the weight of his words, a silent pact of shared suffering. George's voice cracks with raw emotion. "It wasn't an accident, Jenny. The fire. It was a diversion." His voice drops to a chilling whisper. "A smoke screen. They were taken, I tell you, kidnapped." In a roadside diner, a weathered hotel operator, her eyes tired yet sharp, recounts a story to a private detective. She gestures vaguely, describing the quiet children and their unusual clothing, her words hanging heavy in the air. The detective listens intently, his expression unreadable as she speaks. They were quiet, those children, and their clothes, not what you'd expect. But they looked just like the Sodders' children. I swear it. That family, they never gave up hope, did they? She asks, a fragile thread of hope in her voice. In the soft glow of a single lamp, Jenny sits hunched at a worn wooden table, the living room bathed in long, dancing shadows. Her delicate, trembling fingers trace the faded headlines and handwritten words of old newspaper clippings. Each article, each letter, whispers of a child's scene, a fleeting glimpse, a distant, tantalizing possibility. Her eyes, though heavy with weariness, burn with a fierce, unwavering hope, a silent testament to a mother's unending search. She pores over the fragile documents, each scrap of paper holding a fragment of her heart. With every new vague tip, a renewed determination flickers, reigniting the flame within her tireless spirit. In the cozy, dated living room, the warm lamp glow illuminates George, whose face is etched with contemplation and lingering worry. He paces slowly, hands clasped behind his back, his voice low. I spoke out, you know, against Mussolini, against fascist Italy. His words hang heavy. But I can't help but wonder, was that why? Did my words make us a target? A chilling whisper crosses his mind. Was the fire retaliation? The thought, it's a terrifying one to live with. Years later, the Sodder living room is cloaked in dim light, a heavy silence hanging in the air as the family gathers. Marion and George Jr., now adults, sit with their parents, their faces etched with a shared, somber reflection. Their hushed voices fill the quiet room, revisiting the haunting specter of their past. Marion recalls threats, her words a chilling echo of their father's political disagreements. George Jr. adds to the grim narrative, strengthening the chilling theory of retaliation that grips them all. Decades later, a weathered billboard stands sentinel by a busy highway, its colors faded under the relentless sun. 5 young, innocent faces stare out from the billboard, their photographs now blurred with the passage of time. Bold letters beneath the images demand attention. Have you seen these children? The question hangs heavy in the air. The sun beats down on the silent, unmoving faces, a stark contrast to the ceaseless motion of the highway below. Each child's portrait, once vibrant, now holds a ghostly echo of hope and loss, etched into the peeling paint. Cars rush past, their drivers oblivious to the silent plea of the forgotten children, a haunting reminder of lives lost. Decades later, in the quiet Sodder kitchen, Jenny meticulously arranges folders, her movements precise and practiced. Each folder, bursting with letters, photographs, and reports, holds the weight of a lead, a flicker of hope. Her fingers trace over faded documents, each one a testament to a disappointment, a dead end in her relentless search. A lifetime of dedication is etched on her face, her quest consuming every fiber of her being. The kitchen, once a place of family life, is now a silent archive of her unending pursuit for answers. In the Sodder home, the living room glows softly, a Christmas tree standing silent sentinel. George and Jenny sit side by side, their faces etched with a profound, unspoken sorrow. Their gazes, heavy with decades of longing, fix on the empty chairs surrounding the festive tree. Each vacant seat is a stark monument to the missing laughter and joy of their children. The absence is a palpable void, a chilling silence that echoes through the decorated room. It is a constant ache, a wound that time has failed to heal, forever present in their somber eyes. The sun casts long shadows over a quiet cemetery, marking the passage of decades. Elderly George and Jenny stand before a grave marker, their faces etched with profound sorrow and hope. The stone reads, "Sodder Children," a stark reminder of their enduring loss. Yet, the earth beneath the marker remains undisturbed, a testament to their unwavering belief. They do not place headstones for their missing children, clinging to the hope that they are still alive. Decades later, the living room of the Sodder home, once vibrant, now feels heavy with the passage of time. Sylvia, now an adult, gently holds a faded photograph of a billboard, its edges softened by countless touches. Her eyes, filled with a haunting melancholy, trace the faces in the image, a silent plea in their depths. Fragmented memories flicker across her mind, The chaotic sounds, the gripping primal fear of that night. The unsolved mystery has been a silent architect, shaping every facet of her existence. Each touch of the photograph is a renewed attempt to bridge the chasm of time, to reclaim what was lost. In a quiet kitchen, Jenny, etched with age and sorrow, sits as the wall clock softly ticks, marking time. Her trembling hands open a letter, revealing a photograph of a young man, his familiar features catching the dim light. A cryptic message scrawled on the back of the photo sends a shiver down Jenny's spine. Jenny's breath catches, her heart racing with a frantic rhythm of hope and trepidation. In the Sodder home, the soft glow of a table lamp illuminates George and Jenny, their faces etched with the lines of time. They lean close, their gazes fixed on an old photograph, a silent world of memories unfolding before them. A flicker of recognition, a familiar spark in the eyes of the person in the picture, ignites a long-dormant hope. The old photograph holds a profound secret, breathing new life into a forgotten dream as George and Jenny cling to hope. In a cluttered office, an older private investigator, his eyes heavy with weariness, hunches over his desk. He clutches a new photograph, his gaze fixed intently on the image, the ghosts of old cases surrounding him. Looking up at the Sodders, his expression is a complex blend of weary acknowledgement and a hint of caution. He states, "I see the resemblance. It's strong." His voice is gravelly, hinting at past disappointments. He adds, "But we've been down this road before. There are a lot of false hopes, a lot of scams out there." Decades later, the afternoon sun casts long, melancholic shadows across the park, painting the scene in hues of nostalgia. Sylvia, now an elderly woman, sits on a weathered bench, her posture a testament to years of quiet yearning. Her gaze, a window to a lifetime of memories, is fixed on a faded, creased copy of a children's billboard. The vibrant colors of the original image, though muted on the paper, are sharply etched in her mind's eye. A deep, persistent ache, born from an unanswered question, still resides within her, a silent companion. Her eyes reflect a profound longing, a poignant echo of a past that continues to haunt her present. In a dimly lit living room, the soft glow of a table lamp illuminates George, now frail and older, his hands clasped. A young, attentive reporter sits opposite him, notepad open, ready to capture a story from the past. George's voice, though wavering with age, carries an unwavering conviction as he recounts the tale of the fire. His eyes, sharp with memory, detail every suspicious anomaly, painting a vivid picture of a haunting past. Decades later, a reporter, his face etched with time, hunches over a desk, buried beneath a mountain of old clippings. Stacks of forgotten newspapers and police reports loom around him, silent witnesses to untold stories. His brow deeply furrowed, he meticulously sifts through the documents, a focused intensity in his gaze. He pulls out specific articles, comparing dates and statements, a growing intrigue igniting his pursuit. Highlighting inconsistencies, he circles unanswered questions, a detective driven by the ghosts of a cold case. In the quiet kitchen, Jenny moves with slow, deliberate grace, her hands methodically wiping the countertop. Her movements are a dance of routine, each stroke a memory etched in time. She pauses, her gaze drifting out the window, lost in a world unseen by others. A vision of her children, vibrant and alive, playing joyfully in the sunlit yard, flickers in her mind's eye. The faint, phantom melody of their laughter lingers in the air, a bittersweet echo of days long past. Decades later, the sun illuminates the former Sodder property, now an empty canvas where a house once stood. A film crew meticulously positions their equipment, their presence a stark contrast to the quiet, lingering mystery. Cables snake across the ground, connecting to cameras and monitors, ready to capture the echoes of a past tragedy. The air hums with anticipation as the crew prepares to delve into a local legend that has captivated the nation. The story of the lost Sodder children, once whispered, now commands a national stage, its enigma growing with time. Decades later, in a dimly lit living room, an old television flickers, casting dancing shadows on the walls. George and Jenny, their faces etched with the passage of time, sit side by side on a faded couch, their gazes fixed on the screen. A documentary plays, recounting the very case that consumed their lives, showing the young, smiling faces of their lost children. A bittersweet silence hangs heavy, as their enduring tragedy is retold to a new generation. Decades later, the sun illuminates the overgrown Sodder property, now a mere patch of land with crumbling remnants. A small group of true crime enthusiasts, faces earnest and curious, explore the haunting site. They gesture and point, their eyes scanning the desolate landscape for clues, a silent search for truth. Occasionally, they jot notes in small notebooks, meticulously documenting every fragment of the past. The mystery of the Sodder children continues to captivate and puzzle the public, haunting and unanswered. In the warm glow of a lamp, an aged Sylvia sits on a worn couch, her children gathered close, as she begins to weave a tale. Her gnarled hands gesture, telling a story etched with the weight of years and unending hope. And so, we waited. Every day, we looked for them. For Maurice, Martha, Louise, Jenny, and Betty, we never stopped looking. We never will. Her eyes, filled with an enduring legacy, connect with her children, passing down a vital memory. It's important you remember this. Their memory lives on through us. The question, it endures. Dust motes dance in the stale air of the police archives, illuminated by a sliver of sunlight filtering through. A determined reporter reaches for a heavy, yellowed file. Its label, Sodder, case faded but legible. He opens the file, revealing a jumble of conflicting reports and overlooked details, a history of neglect. His face, etched with resolve, scrutinizes the documents, sensing a long-buried truth waiting to be uncovered. In the quiet living room, Jenny sits, her face etched with decades of sorrow, a testament to enduring grief. She cradles a small, worn child's shoe in her hands, a relic of a past that refuses to fade. With tender reverence, she presses the tiny shoe to her cheek, a silent, heartbreaking gesture. A single tear, heavy with unspoken pain, traces a path down her weathered face. Her grief, a mother's eternal sorrow, hangs suspended in the still air, timeless and profound. Decades later, a weathered billboard stands along the highway, a ghost of its former self, faded by time. Its once vibrant colors are now muted, a testament to the relentless march of sun and rain. Paint peels away like old skin, yet the poignant message it carries remains starkly clear. This silent sentinel endures, a powerful symbol of a family's unwavering, relentless pursuit. It stands as a stark, enduring monument to a truth that time cannot erase. Decades later, the Sodder living room is bathed in the soft, hypnotic glow of a crackling fireplace. George and Jenny sit, their once vibrant hair now a luminous white, a testament to time's passage. Their faces, deeply etched with the lines of enduring sorrow, reflect a lifetime of quiet contemplation. The dancing flames, a poignant echo of the devastating fire that cruelly stole their children, flicker in their eyes. Yet, within the depths of their gaze, an unyielding hope continues to burn, a resilient ember in the darkness. They sit in solemn silence, bound by shared grief and an unbroken spirit, facing the fire's captivating dance. In a kitchen etched with time, Jenny, her face lined with sorrow, meticulously bakes a pie, the scent of cinnamon a bittersweet memory. The once joyful aroma now hangs heavy, a ghost of happier times filling the air with quiet melancholy. Her hands, still and worn, pause over the pie, her gaze distant, lost in the depths of a cherished memory. She envisions her children, vibrant and alive, bursting into the kitchen, their faces alight with anticipation. Their imagined laughter echoes, a stark contrast to the profound silence that now fills the room. The warmth of the memory battles the present's quiet sorrow, a pie of longing in her hands. Decades later, a young man stands on overgrown grass, where a house once stood, now only a ghost of memory. He closes his eyes, a silent prayer or a desperate plea for understanding etched on his face. He takes a deep breath, trying to inhale the echoes of lives lived, of laughter and tears that once filled this empty space. His mind's eye rebuilds the absent walls, attempting to reconstruct the mystery that unfolded within. The wind whispers secrets through the tall grass, a chilling reminder of the unresolved past. In the cozy living room, decades later, the soft glow of a table lamp illuminates Sylvia, a woman now, with her child nestled beside her. Her eyes are fixed on a faded, sepia-toned photograph, its secrets whispering from the past. She points to the faces within the photograph, a ghost of a memory clinging to her fingertips. A quiet determination settles on her features, a silent promise etched on her face. Her voice, a hushed echo of hope and longing, states, "They're still out there, somewhere." Decades later, the vast West Virginia mountains rise, a majestic yet rugged expanse under the clear day sky. Peaks and valleys stretch into the horizon, a breathtaking panorama of untamed natural beauty. The landscape, beautiful yet unyielding, stands as a silent witness to time's relentless passage. It mirrors the enduring, unyielding nature of a family's quest, a testament to unwavering hope. The mountains whisper tales of resilience, echoing the family's persistent search through the years. In the soft glow of a lamp, George's aged features are illuminated, his eyes sharp with a haunting memory. He leans forward, a man tormented by a moment of profound terror and dawning suspicion. His voice, thick with the weight of years, recalls the chilling realization. George confesses, "I remember the precise moment I realized the ladder was gone." In the quiet kitchen, Jenny sits, a steaming mug of tea before her, her gaze distant and lost in a haunting memory. Her eyes hold a sorrowful tale, reflecting a past she cannot escape. She recalls a chilling phone call, a woman's voice, a wrong name, each detail etched into her mind. It was too precise to be random. The voice, the name she used, it wasn't just a mistake, Jenny whispers. Her voice trembles, the specificity of the memory chilling her to the bone, the past refusing to loosen its grip. In her quiet living room, bathed in the soft lamplight, Sylvia, now aged, gazes into the distance, lost in a haunting memory. A flicker of fear crosses her features as she recalls the events of that fateful night, her voice heavy with remembrance. "A strange man came to our house just days before the fire. He was trying to sell us insurance. He warned us. He said our house would burn down." A chilling premonition, she whispers, reliving the terror. In a kitchen frozen in time, Jenny, etched with sorrow, clasps her hands tightly, her gaze fixed on the psychic. The psychic, serene yet distant, gestures subtly, revealing, "I sense," a flicker, a light that was never truly extinguished. Jenny's voice trembles with desperate hope. "My children? Are they out there?" The psychic confirms. The path is obscured, but the energy, it persists. There is a journey, not yet complete. Decades later, the sun blazes down on the desolate lot where the Sodder house once stood. A haunting void. George, his face etched with worry, watches an excavator's mechanical arm bite into the earth, churning up ash and dirt. His eyes, filled with a desperate, lingering hope, follow the digging machine as it delves deeper into the foundation. The ground, however, offers no answers, only the sterile remnants of a long-ago fire, a silent testament to loss. The excavator's ceaseless work echoes George's unending quest, a poignant search in the barren earth. In the aged living room of the Sodder home, the air is heavy with the lingering echo of a past tragedy. Decades later, older family members gather, their faces etched with a profound weariness, yet illuminated by an undying, desperate hope. Hushed tones fill the room as they meticulously dissect each theory. Kidnapping, retaliation, a sinister cover-up. This ritual of conversation is a never-ending quest, a poignant blend of despair and renewed, fierce determination. Decades later, in the dim glow of a single lamp, Jenny hunches over a worn kitchen table, her silhouette etched against the shadows. Her gnarled fingers, testament to a lifetime of waiting, hover above the keys of a manual typewriter. The rhythmic clack, clack, clack of the machine breaks the house's silence, a desperate heartbeat in the quiet night. Jenny's brow is deeply furrowed in concentration, her gaze fixed on the letters forming on the page. Each typed word is a plea, a renewed demand for answers that have eluded her for far too long. Sunlight filters through ancient oak trees, dappling the historic Fayetteville town square. A timeless scene. Locals, a mix of young and old, mill about, their conversations often circling back to an unsolved mystery. A sense of lingering wonder and unease hangs in the air, a testament to a story woven into the community. Some believe the children perished in the fire, others a conspiracy, the truth buried deep. In a dimly lit living room, the soft glow of a table lamp casts long, dancing shadows, hinting at untold stories. An aged George sits in an armchair, his fingers tracing the faded image of 5 smiling, innocent children in a photograph. His weary eyes, filled with an unwavering love, betray an immeasurable sorrow, a silent testament to a hidden pain. George's gaze, fixed on the past, holds a fierce resolve. He will never surrender hope for the children in the photograph. Decades later, a forensic anthropologist kneels in an overgrown patch, sifting through soil with meticulous care. The ground, disturbed and yielding no debris, offers only silence to her probing tools and fine mesh screen. She slowly shakes her head, a quiet frustration etched upon her face as her assistant observes nearby. Her voice, heavy with disappointment, breaks the stillness. No bone fragments, nothing at all. In the dimly lit kitchen, Jenny, now decades older, sits hunched over a sprawling timeline, illuminated only by a single lamp. Her brow is deeply furrowed in concentration as she meticulously updates the timeline, a silent testament to years of searching. Her eyes scan the intricate sequence of events, desperately seeking a hidden pattern, a crucial clue in the family's long torment. The quiet intensity of her gaze reveals a relentless spirit, unwilling to surrender to the strange occurrences that have plagued her family. Decades later, a car speeds down a dusty road, the landscape a blur of forgotten time. Inside, a young couple, eyes bright with youthful curiosity, points at a weathered billboard. Their animated voices, a murmur against the wind, discuss the famous unsolved case. The legend, etched in the minds of generations, lives on, a haunting whisper on the breeze. In a dimly lit living room, dust motes dance in the faded lamplight, illuminating the passage of decades. Sylvia, her face deeply etched with time, hunches over an aged letter, her gaze fixed on its fragile contents. Her fingers, trembling slightly with age, trace the worn words on the page. Each touch a whisper of the past. The letter reveals a startling claim. A woman in Florida has seen a girl matching Betty Sodder's description. A fragile yet potent spark of hope ignites in Sylvia's eyes, a light piercing through years of sorrow. For a moment, the weight of decades lifts as hope's flame flickers, banishing the shadows from her weary face. In a dimly lit kitchen, George and Jenny, aged by decades, sit across a worn table, empty teacups between them. George's frail but determined gaze meets Jenny's worry-etched face, the unspoken weight of years and hope heavy. He sighs. Florida. It's a long way, Jenny, and we're not as young as we used to be. Hope is a powerful thing, isn't it? Even after all these years, George says, a flicker of light in his eyes. The airport tarmac basks in the tired orange glow of a setting sun, hinting at the passage of time. George and Jenny navigate the bustling terminal, their movements slow, a testament to decades of journeys. Their gazes remain steady, a quiet resolve shining through the weariness in their eyes. Their faces, etched with countless years, reveal a familiar blend of enduring hope. Yet, A profound exhaustion also marks their expressions, a silent story of perseverance. They board the waiting plane, embarking on another journey, their spirits unyielding despite the years. In a dimly lit Florida hotel room, the only light emanates from a desk lamp and a laptop screen, casting long shadows. George and Jenny, their faces etched with the passage of decades, pore over a table laden with documents and maps. Their hushed, urgent tones fill the quiet room as their eyes meticulously scan every detail, searching for answers. This decades-long quest, a relentless pursuit, defines their very existence, reflected in their unwavering gazes. The weight of their shared history and their unyielding determination hangs heavy in the air, a silent testament to their bond. Decades later, Florida Street pulses with life, a vibrant tapestry of people and cars now filling its bustling thoroughfare. George and Jenny, their faces etched with the passage of time, move slowly through the crowd, their gazes searching. Their eyes dart through the sea of faces, a silent, desperate quest for a child lost to time. Always searching. Their hearts cling to a fading hope, a reunion they've longed for through endless years. In a living room frozen in time, dust motes dance in the faint lamplight, illuminating the weight of decades. Sylvia sits alone in an old armchair, her gaze lost in the empty space where her parents once were. The silence in the room is a heavy, palpable presence, a testament to an unresolved, decades-long mystery. Her eyes, filled with quiet longing, reflect the enduring sorrow of a life shaped by unanswered questions. Decades later, the Sodder property stands, an empty testament to a haunting past. The sun casts long shadows over the overgrown land, where a tragic fire once raged. Nature's relentless embrace begins to reclaim the earth, slowly healing the visible scars. Yet, the air still hums with unspoken questions and the echoes of profound loss. Wildflowers bloom defiantly amidst the lingering desolation, a fragile beauty. The property remains a silent, enduring monument to an unresolved mystery. Decades later, the Sodder living room glows with the warm, festive cheer of Christmas lights. Every surface is adorned with decorations, reflecting a holiday spirit that seems to defy the passage of time. On the mantelpiece, a framed photograph stands out, a silent sentinel amidst the festive decor. The smiles of 5 missing children are frozen in time, a poignant shadow cast over the enduring holiday cheer. In a sun-drenched cemetery, ancient gravestones cast long, mournful shadows, marking the passage of countless years. Sylvia, now an elderly woman, stands before a stark, empty plot, her face etched with a lifetime of memories. With trembling hands, she carefully places a vibrant bouquet of fresh flowers upon the bare earth. Her voice, thick with emotion, whispers to the silent ground, "We never forgot you." A single tear traces a path down her weathered cheek as she adds, "We never stopped looking." The Sodder home, decades later, stands silent under the night sky. Inside, the living room is bathed in an eerie quiet, filled with the ghosts of laughter and sorrow. Though the physical scars of the devastating fire have vanished, its emotional echoes linger in the air. Every shadow seems to whisper tales of what was tragically lost on that fateful night. The house is a poignant monument to enduring grief, a testament to unforgotten memories. Decades later, the West Virginia landscape stretches under the sun, vast and indifferent to the passage of time. A billboard, once vibrant, now stands as a weathered ghost, its colors faded into the muted earth. Its edges are blurred, metal rusted, yet a silent, lingering plea emanates from its decaying surface. This forgotten sign is an echo of a time long past, a testament to what once was and now is no more. In the dimly lit living room of the Sodder home, shadows dance, clinging to every corner like old memories. The camera, slowly, reverently, pans across a collection of framed photographs, their subjects frozen in time, forever young. Stacks of dog-eared investigation files overflow on a worn coffee table, each page a whisper of unanswered questions. The furniture, once vibrant, now sags with age and memory, a silent testament to enduring grief. The profound silence is broken only by the faint, insistent ticking of a clock, a relentless reminder of time's passage.